This is Terry. I'll be the facilitator of this 20-minute resume revamp video. After viewing this video, you will be able to recall why it's important to target or customize your resume to each and every job application. Select the most appropriate resume format for your job search needs, and target or customize your resume by creating targeted objective statements, summary of qualifications, and accomplishment statements. You will see a cover letter template if you wish to target a cover letter with your resume. At any time in this presentation, click on the pause button in your video player to stop the workshop. Before you continue, please pause this video, open a new window in your browser, and go to the link in the screen to print the handouts. Pause this video now with the pause button in your video player. As you will see in this slide, there are several reasons why you need a resume. In the last few years, as the number of people competing for jobs increases, employers are using resumes more often to help them manage the sheer volume of job applicants. However, it still comes down to whether you have the proven skills to perform the advertised job. If you do, you don't necessarily get the job, but the interview helps the employer to see if you are a fit. Take a look at our interview preparation video if you need help with interviews. The first way to target your resume is simply by choosing the best resume format for the job you want. Employers like two types of resume formats. The chronological, which is simply a list of the past jobs in date order. I'll show an example in the next slide. This is used if you're staying in the same kind of work or have worked for similar employers. The employer will not have any difficulty in understanding the work history and the strengths that you built over your work history. However, if you're changing your work, for example, if you're getting out of manufacturing and have been retrained for something like a teacher's assistant, the functional resume will help employers in education understand that you have the training and skills that can transfer to education. An education employer would not easily understand your skills if you used the chronological resume of your past employment. The functional resume makes it easier for the employer to see exactly what they're looking for. The reason why this is called a chronological resume is that employment history is listed in date order with details describing the skills used to perform the past jobs. When you see the functional resume in the next screen, you'll notice that it does not have any details in the employment history, other than the date, employer, and position. Instead, the details for describing skills are listed in a unique area to the functional resume, in an area with the heading Relevant Accomplishments and Skills. As you can see in the functional resume, it is very similar to the chronological, except with the exception of an additional section called Relevant Accomplishments or Skills. This is the information that will make it easy for an employer in a new line of work to see your transferable skills to perform the job. Therefore, given your employment history and the work you are seeking, you need to select the most appropriate format for your job search. Employers that receive a large volume of resumes have said that they only spend 15 seconds reading the resume to determine if they want to keep the resume for future consideration. Therefore, it is extremely important that the first line on the resume catches the employer's attention. You want to show the employer that you have a strong desire for the work, even naming the position exactly as it is advertised. Also, employers like to see how you think you could fit in and help them meet their needs. Also, employers always like to see their business name in your objective. That means changing your objective every time you prepare a resume. For the most success at job search, use a resume only once. Make a new resume for every job. You will have much more success in making a few resumes every week instead of sending out numerous copies of the same resume. Take a few minutes to pause this video and create an objective statement and write it on your resume template. It helps to have a specific job in mind. If you don't have a specific job in mind, it is advisable not to create a targeted resume until you know the employer and the position. It can be very frustrating trying to make a general resume. It only takes an employer a few seconds to read the objective statement. This leaves the remaining 10 to 12 seconds to read your summary of qualifications. The key is to ensure your list of qualifications match what the employer is looking for in their job advertisement. Therefore, it is very important to read through the job advertisement and identify the most important qualifications needed. Watch for repeated needs. This communicates a priority for the qualifications needed. The next screen shows an example of how to write a qualification statement. Here is what a qualification statement needs to contain and an example of creating a summary of qualification statements for a job that requires customer service skills. Make your statement unique to your own experiences and or certifications. Pause this video to take a few minutes to look through a job advertisement and try to create your summary of qualifications in your resume template. If, after 15 seconds, the employer likes your objective statement and summary of qualifications, they will likely read the rest of your resume. When reading the rest of your resume, the employer is trying to determine if they want to interview you. Employers look to your resume for some proof that you can perform the work for the advertised job. Therefore, it is very important that you describe your past work in a way that the employer can see your skills and success. Accomplishment statements provides the proof to potential employers. It is important to have at least one accomplishment statement for each of your summary of qualification statements. The example on the screen assumes that customer service skills are needed in the advertised job and was mentioned in the summary of qualifications. An accomplishment statement for customer service could look like the example on the screen. This accomplishment statement could be listed in a functional resume under the relevant accomplishments and skills, or it could be listed in a chronological resume in the employment history. The next screen shows how to write an accomplishment statement. Good accomplishment statements have these three components mentioned on the screen. It is not necessary for these components to be in this order, as long as your accomplishment statement describes what you've done, how you did it, and the results or outcome. It will attract the attention of employers. The more specific you can be about the results, the better. For example, if you know exactly the results you've made, such as reducing waste by 25% or increasing sales by 50%, then mention that. However, in many cases you may not know the results of your work. Some employers don't share that information. In this case, just describes what you've done and how you did your work. Pause this video and try writing some accomplishment statements in your resume template. Keep in mind that there are some more tips for writing accomplishment statements on the next screen. Accomplishment statements are not easy to write, especially if you have been performing your work for an extended period. You may find that you perform your job as second nature without really thinking about it. That is good. However, it makes it even more difficult to break down your work into an accomplishment statement. Consider reviewing the help from the links on the screen and or explaining your work to someone and ask them to help you write the accomplishment statement. Time spent on accomplishment statements will increase your opportunities for interviews. Many employers are not interested in reading cover letters, especially if they know you or have met you. However, if you're not sure if the employer wants a cover letter, it is advisable that you include one with your resume. And just as targeting your resume increases your chances of an interview, targeting the cover letter also improves your job search results. Does your resume need revamping? You can increase your opportunities for an interview by creating a new objective statement, summary of qualifications, and accomplishment statements for each job application. After targeting these components, you can complete the rest of your resume with relevant information. Don't worry about keeping your resume to 1 or 2 pages. As long as the first page is targeted as described in this video, employers will be motivated to read your entire resume. I hope you found this resume revamp video useful and that it will improve your job success. Please take a moment and send us an email. Let us know what you thought of this video. Thank you.